another thing too, I don't know if you saw the other day, but John Tortorella made Sean Couturier, who's their the Flyers captain, a healthy scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think about that? I wanted to get your take on that.
And when I was younger, John Tortorella, and me probably didn't see eye to eye because I wasn't afraid to voice my opinion with him, and just I wasn't going to take some of the stuff that he was doing to me as a young guy. But I've always said as I got older, I probably could have handled him a bit better, and he would have been fine. And when I had him the second stint in Vancouver, he was fine. Like, I don't mind him as a human being. I think he's a good man. I got nothing bad to say about him as a person, but these tactics have continued to happen, and they're never good for the team. They never work out. Benching your captain, I don't care how poorly he's playing. I don't care how poor he is. If he's the worst player on your team, he's still the captain. You just don't do that. He's the captain for a reason. Like, he's someone that team, you just named him captain this year. Am I wrong? They could just name him captain this year.
Yeah, they did this year.
You just don't do that. Like, you lose the room when you do that. And it's not like people are rallying behind him and being like, yeah, we want to go win this game now. Like, it's the wrong message. It's the wrong play. He's done it so many times and it never works. And I just find it so funny. Like, the guy's been, we won a Stanley Cup in 2004, 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. And he's like, every team has brought him in to bring in a different voice. And you would have figured at this point he would have adjusted and changed. And he hasn't. And I don't watch the Flyers enough. I don't know how he's playing. I know how big of an influence Sean Couturier is in that room. I know the type of person he is. He's a prideful guy, great work ethic. A tremendous leader. He should have been the captain when I was there, bar none. It was not Giroux. To me, Couturier should have been the captain.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, 100%. And I don't know. I don't agree with it. And then I don't like how he doesn't have to answer it in the media. Like, answer, say something.
Yeah.
Like, and you watch Couturier's interview and he's like, Tortorella always talks. He's got an open door and he communicates so well with the players and his door's out. Well, if he does, then why did Couturier go? He never said anything to me. He told me I'm not playing. That's it. He hasn't told me why or what. Like, it's just so phony. It's so smoke and mirrors. And it's just like, if you've watched enough of it, it happens everywhere. It's the exact same script every single time. And it's just like, come on. Like, for the fans, it's great. Like, I look at the comments on Instagram and people love it. They're like, oh, I saw Brandon Dubinsky call them out today. And it was perfect. There's a guy that's played. Like, he has nothing to lose. He's going to tell you what he thinks. Exactly like myself. I don't care. I'm not getting a job with the Philadelphia Flyers. I'll tell you the honest truth about him. And that's like, you don't do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, you played with Dubinsky in New York for a bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, he had the pleasure of being coached by Torts twice, right? Back in New York and then Columbus.
Yeah, me.
Right? Yeah. So I mean, he was a pretty solid like two-way player back in the day. I mean, I see some right, and I see some comments that people say like that maybe Torts kind of like maybe killed his love for the game. It kind of seems like it at times, right? Because obviously he's been very like vocal about calling him out and stuff in the past, right? So
yeah, and so many guys are still in hockey or somewhat, so they're afraid to be honest because they're like, you never know if you're going to cross paths, and so many guys are afraid to burn bridges. It's why NHL guys, when you're getting interviews, they don't tell you the truth of what they really think, because it's like, well, that guy's probably going to get a job in another team, so I better not bury myself and tell you the truth. But like, I love when you get guys that are retired that are not involved in hockey that you really get the truth. And there'd be a million guys that would tell you that truth on John Tortorella.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I love hearing. Oh, sorry, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, no, sorry. It's just such a show. Like, when he was he's standing on the bench and he wouldn't leave when the ref kicked him out, and then the CEO from Comcast is like, I'm paying his fine because he has the players back. You think he was having the players back there? No. He loves to put on a show because it's about him. He wants to be center of attention. He loves that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember, again, being a kid and seeing him coaching Tampa, and like he told Larry Brooks to like get the fuck out of the room, like just
Yeah.
straight up. Like he doesn't. Like, he's like, I
Yeah.
think he's a hard ass coach, obviously, but yeah, I do think there's a bit of theatrical that comes with it because
For sure. And it's again like from a fan standpoint, it's hilarious. And if I never had if I never experienced it personally, then I probably would sit here and say the same thing and say, man, he's so entertaining. I love watching it. But like I've been on the other side, so I have a little bit of a different opinion on it. But it's, don't get me wrong, it's entertaining and it's different. So it's good TV because we don't have many personalities like him in the NHL.